Understanding the importance of good sleeping habits is very beneficial to the overall health of an individual in both mental and physical levels. Learn all the tricks here. Most people tend to disregard the importance and significance of proper sleep patterns. Therefore, there is a need to re-educate people of this very important element which is so impactful on the daily functions of anyone. As sleep is an essential part of a normal and healthy growing individual, it should be regarded with some respect. Sleep helps the body to rejuvenate adequately so that the daily challenges will be better handled. However, at this point, it is not completely known how the actual sleep state can be accurately and precisely explained in its physiological phenomenon state. Though thought to be a rather passive state of being, it is now known to have a very dynamic process whereas the brain does not at any time really shut down complete and instead does perform several unseeing functions within this state, thus its dominant importance. Basically, sleep states can be categorized into different stages such as NREM, which is non-rapid eye movement, and REM, which is rapid eye movement. This then can be broken down even further into other connective categories. It is interesting to note that the sleep cycle experiences several stages in succession over and over again throughout one sleep session, and this could take up to about an hour and a half each time. Ideally, one should always try to get some level of deep sleep whenever possible through the sleep exercise, as this will ensure a better and more refreshed state upon awakening. Some more detrimental effects of lack of sleep have been documented as having a weaker immune system, lower white blood cell count, decrease in the release of growth hormones, heart rate variability, and a host of other problems. Figure out what is missing for a lot of people. Today, sleep is something that is always last to be considered. Generally, especially the younger generation thinks that sleep is not really important and definitely a waste of their precious time. However, it should be noted that generally when such individuals do attempt to get some sleep, it is often very difficult to wake them up. However, the importance of sleep should not be discounted, and working out the elements that are causing the lack of sleep or the inability to get proper sleep would be most beneficial. What do you need? Ironically, the huge number of individuals do experience some form of sleep deprivation and its negative effects fairly often, though there are times when this comes about without the actual realization of its occurrence. Taking the time and effort to find out if this phenomenon is occurring randomly in one's life with or without significant impact being caused is worth the trouble so that the situation can be addressed and rectified. Some may explain it as sleep homeostasis, which generally implies that the more sleep an individual is able to experience, the less likelihood of the individual nodding off to sleep at the slightest opportunity, and the more there is the loss of sleep, the more significant the need to sleep will be. There are several possibilities why this may occur, and some of them are too many distractions, non-conducive environment, high stress levels, too many things that need immediate attention, and the list is never ending. Identifying some of the more popular possibilities that are causing the lack of sleep will help the individual to focus on rectifying the situation, or at the very least seeking suitable solutions that will help ease the inability for sleep opportunities. When the opportunity has been given to identifying the reason for the sleep deprivation, then besides finding solutions, the individual must also resolve not to fall back into the same negative situation at a later stage. There are several types of goal-setting exercises that can be adapted to suit the need of sleeping. These goals will vary greatly from one person to another, so there is a need to define what your goals are as an individual within the realm of sleep. When this is successfully done, then the identification of the necessary elements that will produce the desired results can then be designed. What is the point? Family goals are a very powerful way to build trust, communication, togetherness, and many other positive elements. It's also a good way of encouraging children to learn how to set goals within their own little worlds. Here are some recommendations that can be followed in the pursuit of identifying and setting goals. The exercise of setting goals should be done with the participation of every family member. This participation should be active rather than passive, and age should not be a deterrent. Younger children can sometimes be surprisingly insightful and can come up with very workable solutions to a particular goal. Limiting the number of goals the family has to work with is also advised. When there is too much going on, there will be very little concentrated focus on actually making a success of the goal and its eventual positive results. Identifying and setting the goals should not be limited to any particular time of the year or phase in a family member's life. These exercises should be done if and when necessary and as a spontaneous fashion to ensure there are not threatening feelings arising. Setting up an incentive plan within the goal-setting exercise will also encourage maximum participation and results of all the family members. Sometimes it may be necessary to set a time frame for the intended goals set. This is to ensure some results can be forthcoming rather than constant procrastination. Try new things. Sometimes after exhausting all existing tried and true methods of doing things, one needs to adjust the mindset to be open to trying new and more innovative ways of solving the sleep deprivation problem. This is especially necessary if the current methods are adding to the stress levels of an already difficult situation. Change it. Here are some suggestions on the changes that can be made in order to create a more easily sought sleep state. Taking up a new and slightly more physically demanding exercise regimen. Though exercise has always been an important way of living a healthy lifestyle, elevating the requirements of the exercise routine will help to exhaust the body into a craving for better rest sessions, thus enabling the individual to get good sleep sessions. Eating healthier and lighter meals, especially before sleep pattern times, will also help to create a more conducive body condition so that sleep comes easily and naturally. Eating heavy meals that are also unhealthy in its content will cause such discomfort that the individual will be unable to induce comfortable sleep sessions. Being exposed to bright light will also help to keep the brain alert and functioning at its optimum, thus exhausting it enough to induce proper sleep patterns when the body feels the need for it. So when working in darker surrounding environments, one should always opt to have bright lights enhancing the work area. Using the temperature element as an effective tool to induce consistent and successful sleep patterns has been documented as having some level of success. Keeping the temperature at levels which creates a comfortable atmosphere for the individual will eventually allow a more relaxed state to prevail, thus inducing sleep. Adopting a comfortable posture or body position that is more receptive to creating the comfort zone for a sleep experience is both necessary and effective. Simply having all the right information and tools will not ensure an individual is well on the way to a good night's sleep. There is a need to put into practice all that has been found or suggested to be helpful in the quest to identify the best and most suitable style for the individual's needs. Get moving. The following are some of the methods that are recommended for consideration. Forcing sleep is not something that is unachievable. Contrary to popular belief, with the right tools, sleep can be successfully induced. Creating the stage, using limited lighting, playing soft soothing music, getting into comfortable attire, having a comfortable sleeping bed with equally comfortable accessories all help to add to the general inducing exercise. Though overly strenuous activities are often discouraged, especially closer to desired sleeping times, some form of activity that will cause the individual to be sufficiently tired will be welcome. This will enhance the body's need for rest and also encourage the individual to seek this rest in the form of sleep. Audio distractions are often the reason why people lament about the lack of sleep. Making sure the sleeping environment is free from such distractions will be instrumental in creating a more conducive atmosphere for sleep. For the most individuals who is of the older age group, making a conscious effort to avoid any caffeinated beverage is advised. Even the smallest amount of caffeine content drinks and foods can add to the struggle to gain a good night's sleep. Though this method requires some experimental trial exercises, it can be beneficial to know that certain types of foods may induce sleep while others may have the opposite effects, like keeping the individual alert. Like caffeine, there are other foods that may have this particular reaction when consumed. How not fixing your sleep can harm your life. Failing to give due importance to this very significant part of human existence can and will result in some very negative results. The following are just some negative repercussions for not taking the importance of good sleeping patterns into consideration. The downfall. Poor quality and quantity of work may become evident when there is a general lack of sleep. This will cause the individual to have a lack of concentration and thus produce unacceptable work. Unnecessary mistakes and substandard work will then contribute to even bigger problems, especially when the said work is a contributing part of an overall team effort. Colleagues will then begin to question the relevance of having such an individual as a team member, and this may eventually lead to one's job being in jeopardy. Becoming short-tempered and irritable is also another negative trait that will be prevalent when there is a lack of sleep. This can then lead to relationship problems. If left unchecked, this negative behavior may spill into other aspects of the individual's life, causing damage along the way that may not be salvaged. Making rash decisions or wrong decisions is also a byproduct of not having enough sleep, as the brain is unable to function at its optimum. Here too, some of these decisions may cause such negative repercussions that it may be difficult if not impossible to rectify. Once erratic sleep patterns have become the norm, it may be very difficult to re-establish better and more manageable sleep routines. Wrapping up. Everyone should be aware of the importance of good sleep patterns. Even those who are workaholics and those who deem sleeping a waste of precious time will eventually admit that sleeping is a very important, if not vital, part of the human existence. Though not on the top priority list of most people, it is nevertheless an undisputed requirement for everyone.